I look forward to seeing you all on Wednesday. For now, we're going to take a look at a short video on research projects. So here we go. Okay, so this is just a little refresher on issue spotting, something that at this stage in your legal career you've probably done a lot of. Last semester in your predictive writing class, it's possible that your professor may have done some of the issue spotting for you. I know initially I do a bit of that myself. So for instance, there's already a clue right here up front in this memo. It says emotional distress memo. So we already know which particular claim that is being used. And then the jurisdiction, which is an important piece of your research, is already identified. And even the source of law is identified, along with the area of law that IIED falls under. Now, that being said, sometimes there can be aspects of the fact pattern that can send you sniffing another direction. So, for instance, here, they forgot to give her the release form that would release them from liability. That may initially look like something to investigate, but in the sentence right after that, it says the release form is not an issue. The fact pattern itself could also potentially sound like employment law or perhaps even something to do with the First Amendment. But as you learned last semester, you have to read all the way through, particularly to the call of the question, to see what your issue is. Again, here, I did my students a favor, which may have happened with you as well in your previous legal writing class. I tell them only to address this one issue. And not just IIED, I narrowed it down to extreme and outrageous conduct. Then, just to eliminate any confusion, I said which areas of law don't apply. So it's possible that there could be many other legal claims triggered by, and legal arguments triggered by this fact pattern, but for purposes of the assignment, you're only analyzing one. So we're going to change gears and look at something more similar to what you're doing this semester. Here, for your first assignment, and this is not your assignment, but it is something similar, notice here's how we determine the jurisdiction. We look to see what court we're in. So it's the United States District Court, so we know we are in federal court. We would be researching federal law. I would probably start with secondary authority. Remember, secondary authority is your friend. And this one happens to be a fictional jurisdiction. So they don't have to look at a specific state necessarily. In your problem, it may be different. So look to see which court are we in so that you can narrow by jurisdiction. Again, initially, there may be some things that might throw the writer off the scent. That, oh, it's federal rule of criminal procedure, they're charged with a crime. If you were to go leap into research right now, you might be researching what needs to be proved under 21 U.S.C. Section 844. You would be spinning your wheels if you did so, because this is actually not the issue in the problem. You have to keep scrolling down to see the first motion filed in the case. Motion to suppress. So the kind of motion dictates the kind of standard of review that you have to meet. So we know that it's a motion to suppress, But if you were to just go generally looking at motions to suppress can be based on many different legal foundations. So while this is helpful for determining what the standard of review is, you still need more information. What is the legal foundation of the motion to suppress? So typically, in a motion to suppress, that's going to be that it's not justified by any Fourth Amendment exception to the warrant requirement. But again, there are multiple exceptions to the warrant requirement. If you were to just go researching randomly, you'd probably never finish. So you want to read forward to the answer. So here we have the prosecution's answer. In this one, probable cause and exigent circumstances justified the warrantless search and seizure. So there's going to be a little bit of research of the Fourth Amendment and a lot of research of these particular warrant exceptions under the Fourth Amendment, probable cause and exigent circumstances. There's a little bit more detail on probable cause here and a little bit more detail on exigent circumstances. Now note, it's possible that you may have a motion to suppress as well, but it's not necessarily going to be these same two exceptions. Okay, I look forward to seeing you in class soon.